Good day, everyone. I am John Rich P. Melanchon, and we will go tackle the elements of educational supervision and the helping component in supervision. We have elements in educational supervision. The procedures and techniques that facilitate learning for supervisees with professional education also facilitate learning for paraprofessionals. General principles of learning are equally appropriate and applicable with paraprofessionals. This will help the supervisors to easily teach the paraprofessionals with proper training using their techniques and their ways. Supervisors have to pay close attention to the following. First, language may present a problem. The same words may have different connotation to supervisors and paraprofessionals, so explicit care needs to be given to word usage in educational supervision. For an example, supervisors must look forward to language since it's a crucial part of humans. It is how we build relationships and create a sense of community part of taking educational supervision. Also, in using different connotations, it might be misunderstood and awareness should be present. For an example, blue is a color, but it is also a word used to describe a feeling of sadness, as in, she's feeling blue. Number two, with older paraprofessionals, the relevant life experiences will lead to give and take. In this relationship should be employed. This means it should be that those paraprofessionals who have already gone through those experiences in their field will share their life experiences by compromising or cooperating in educating those other new paraprofessionals and other development workers. Number three, if the paraprofessionals have been out of school for a long time, the supervisors needs to de-emphasize reading as a source of learning and to depend more on didactic, repetitive personal discussion with the paraprofessionals. Meaning, the supervisors must acknowledge and focus on lecturing, group discussion, and planning a project with the paraprofessionals for them to understand how to work properly and orderly. People easily learn through experiences and not just by reading books. Number 4, straightforward instructions are more acceptable to them. The supervisor must think that it is easy to understand if the given instruction is concise and precise. Number 5, the need to partialize learning is greater here. The supervisor needs to select limited objectives for each supervisory session. Therefore, shorter administration and supervision in social work and more frequent supervisory conference are desirable. This means letting the social worker learn on their own, and if there's a room for coaching, it should be done in a well-constructed and programmed for the enhancement of the social worker's concern. Number 6, didactic repetitive presentation can be made more effective if the materials can be diagrammed or made visual in some other way. So in doing group discussion or planning a project, it is way more constructive if it is visualized that explains rather than represents. Number 7, materials to be taught need to be structured and precisely defined. The theory has to be translated into action terms, and the behavioral amplification or principles have to be specified. However, the supervisor should know the background of the professional so that he or she does not oversimplify. It is better if the learning materials are arranged according to a specific plan and it is accurate to upskill a professional and that will expand their capabilities in their field of work. Also, the supervisor must be extra careful and should know the background of the paraprofessional to avoid oversimplifying. Number 8, many illustrations should be used and details should be carefully spelled out and assumptions should be explicitly stated. Meaning, clarification and detailed elucidation should be well executed and explained clearly. Number 9, presentation should be well organized, new digression permitted, and frequent summaries made available. Breaks in continuity should be held to a minimum or else explicitly designated. Organizing the presentation makes the listener easily understand the topic that has been tackled in the session. Also, it is very important that when tackling a topic, it should be like starting to tell a story in line with the main topic. Number 10, role-playing is heavily emphasized as a preferred teaching procedure. When teaching a procedure, in order for them to understand, the supervisor must act on that particular scenario and will assume the role of that person or the given situation. Helping component in supervision. The paraprofessionals' lack of social work knowledge and the fact that they have to perform some social work tasks and activities that may somehow create a feeling of anxiety in them. This means that the paraprofessional supervisees may require more supervisory time devoted to supporting and maintain morale. If someone is placed in a workplace where their skills are mismatched with the required skill set that needs in that work, it can cause different output and can also lead to destructive mental health. And a way to reinforce their skill is to have them capacitated in the skill set that suits the work that they will be doing. This way, they can produce necessary results and can work and par with others. The nature of the tasks often assigned to paraprofessionals may increase the risk of discouragement and job dissatisfaction, which calls for the helping the function of the supervisor is to support and maintain the worker's role. First, in assigning tasks to any supervisee, the supervisor must try to maintain the balance between stimulation that encourage learning new skills and excessive requirements that may undermine self-confidence. In the case of the paraprofessionals whose self-confidence are initially tenacious, greater care needs to be given to maintaining this balance. So, every supervisor should designate tasks not only to achieve the desired output but also to consider that the supervisee can attain a new skill set. With this, there is an environment where the employee can give their best while learning. Second, the supervisor must reward a good performance of the paraprofessionals with frequent praise. A paraprofessional who has no prior training is even more uncertain that the others supervises about whether his or her performance has been satisfactory. The active effort of the supervisor is praising good work reassures the worker. As a supervisor, there should be a monitoring tool in place that can see whether or not the employee has attained the targeted goal and must create a reward mechanism to praise such hard work. The way they can feel their work is appreciated. Paraprofessionals may have to be supported in professionalizing their relationship with some clients out of self-protection. There should be skill enhancement that should be given to them for them to give the necessary services to the clients. Fourth, paraprofessionals may also need support and protection from their own high expectation and consequent disappointments. Counseling and maintaining the same mindset with the paraprofessionals and the supervisor or manager should be given to the former so that the expectations are set timely. And for the key points of supervision, we have strategies for teaching paraprofessionals. Next, developing skills both supervisor and paraprofessionals. Third, processes on how properly teach paraprofessionals. Fourth, pros and cons in supervision. Fifth, success factors in supervision. And lastly, knowledge and experiences in both fields. And that's all for educational supervision and helping component in supervision. For our next reporter, the floor is yours.